Hey everyone! Thanks for stopping by. Halloween parties are in full swing, and today I have 6 menu items that would be perfect for a Dr. Dreadful or spooky hospital party theme. Warning, this isn't for the faint of heart, so if you have a weak stomach, turn back now. These 6 gross party foods will have your guests talking till next Halloween. I'm Lacey, and this is DIY instead of buy. Our first DIY are bones. Just in case you didn't heed my warning, we're going to start on the mild side of the gross factor. For these, you're going to need pretzel sticks, mini marshmallows, and white melting chocolate. I'm using 2 pounds here. Start by laying your pretzels and marshmallows out so they're easy to access. Then, we're going to take a pretzel stick and you're going to put a marshmallow on one end of it. You're going to turn it on over, and you're going to put a second marshmallow on the other end. And that is step 1 of this process. So I like to do an assembly line approach, so I get a bunch of these made up. And I'm laying them out on wax paper. Now that we have all of our pretzels and marshmallows put together, we need to start melting our chocolate. I have 2 pounds here, and I'm going to go ahead and melt all of it at once. So go ahead and pour your wafers into a bowl. And I did my melting in the microwave in 30-second intervals. And just keep mixing it in. You just don't want to go too long or you'll burn the chocolate. And I took a tiny little bit of coconut oil to thin out that chocolate and make it so the pretzels and marshmallows dipped a little easier. Now let's start dipping the bones. I put my pretzel marshmallow combo into the white chocolate, cover it nice on all sides, and use a fork to lift it up and just shake off any extra chocolate. Once I have enough of the chocolate dripping off, I set it over on my wax paper to dry and harden up. This is what our bone looks like after 1 dipping. Now it looks okay, but I think we can make it look better. We're gonna do a second dip on each bone pretzel. Same process, make sure all sides are covered and use a fork to lift it out and drain off any extra chocolate. Sit them back on the wax paper to dry. And there we have some nice looking bones. Our second DIY is the easiest from this video, but I think people would say scabs are pretty gross. All you need is a value-sized bag of beef jerky. It can be any brand, any flavor, but I would keep in mind what the texture and color of scabs looks like when you're picking out your jerky. You just need to take your beef jerky, take the larger pieces of it, and break it down into smaller pieces that look like scabs. And this actually makes your beef jerky stretch further for a party setting. And this is that easy. Kinda gnarly though. If you're still hanging around out of morbid curiosity, give this video a thumbs up. And once I finish picking these scabs, we'll move on to the next DIY. DIY number 3 came out way better than I ever hoped. These bloody intestines are actually yummy cinnamon rolls. I used 2 packs of cinnamon rolls for this size foil pan. Go ahead, take them all out, and don't throw away your icing. You're going to take a cinnamon roll and you're going to unroll it. From there, you're going to start weaving it all around the pan. Squiggle it back and forth, making it look like wiggly intestines in your pan. Then you'll take your next cinnamon roll, unroll it, and add it to your intestines. There's no right or wrong way. Just make them look wiggly and icky. I was spacing them out too far here at the beginning. So I did go back and start scrunching them together more. And I also would break off some pieces of the cinnamon roll strip and tuck them into places that looked like they needed a little bit more intestines, if you know what I mean. Now I know I just said I had to put mine closer together, but don't get them too close because when they bake, they are gonna plump up. So now I put them in the oven and followed the directions on the can for baking time and temperature. While those are baking, we're gonna make some more icing. So I took 1 cup of powdered sugar and 3 teaspoons of milk and just started mixing it all together. You guys, it was so late when I was making these and I was so tired. All I could think about was folding the cheese from Schitt's Creek. As you can see, I don't have this videotaping thing down yet. Missed the bowl by a long shot. Time to start making this look like blood. So put some red food coloring in. I think I started with maybe 12 drops of it. And then I would add a little bit more. And if it's not looking like a deep enough red, you can always add some black food coloring in. Just keep mixing until you get the color you want for your bloody intestines. What is the grossest thing you have ever ate? Let me know in the comments. For me, it's either a sour cream and onion cricket or a banana. And I really think it might be the banana. I'd probably eat another cricket. So now our intestines are fresh out of the oven. We're gonna put the icing over them and really just let it get drenched down in there. Probably if I made these again, I would make even more frosting for them. I smoothed it out over the top and then I kind of shook it and tapped it down so it would go in all of the crevices. And then that's when it starts looking like intestines. Isn't that gross? But I love it. Every great party needs a great drink, and that's what DIY number 4 is. Urine specimen cups. You need to get some apple juice and urine collection cups. I found mine on Amazon. I'm also going to be using these labels. It's 20 labels to a sheet. They're the Avery 5161s. And here's a close-up of the cups I got. I'll leave a link in the description box. So fill up your cups with the apple juice and put the lid on. Very simple. But you could, right now this could be a family-friendly drink. I mean, yeah, it's gross, but kids can drink it as well. But you could take it up a notch, and what about some lemon jello shots inside of it if you want to have it for an adult party? So to really kick up the doctor hospital aesthetic, I decided to make some labels to go on these. Because you know, like when they give you a sterile urine specimen cup, it's got that sticker on it that doesn't have the seal broke yet. So I looked online and picked out what I liked about different labels and created one, printed them out on the Avery 5161s, and then I came up with a bunch of funny names. I Googled them online and just looked for funny gravestone names or bad doctor names that are unfortunate and started putting them on the labels. So this is an extra step. It's not necessary, but I think it just really levels up the project. Although this is sped up really fast, I did leave all of the names that I came up with in the footage. So if you need some inspiration, you can pause the video on it. So then to cut out the labels, I just cut that little corner out so it would just be a skinnier flap that would go over the side of the cup when you stuck it on there. And there you have it, your urine specimen cups. So you get them all labeled and set them out for display. So while the video plays out showing me labeling these urine specimens, I need to mentally prepare myself for the next DIY. Because out of all these, it was the one that I almost tossed my cookies on. And it is boogers. So for this one, you need some popping corn. You're also going to need light corn syrup, some cream of tartar, that is optional. You're going to need food coloring in green. I use primary green and a neon green, some vanilla extract, and butter. And I'm going to put the recipe in the description box because I could not record this. It was a very fast-paced recipe, so I could not keep up and make sure I got the stuff off the stove at the right temperature and record at the same time. I was a hot mess trying to do this. So you're going to get your popcorn popped and spread it out on a parchment-lined baking tray. Then we start making our stovetop green booger mixture. And this is where it got me. It foams up. Oh, and then you pour it over the popcorn. This site right here just did me in. Oh, mix it in there. That's pretty bad if I'm grossing myself out and then I want you guys to try it. After you mix this all up, you put it in the oven for an hour and you stir it every 15 minutes. In the comments, let's have you guys rate this on a grossness level, 1 to 10, 10 being the grossest. Where would you put these boogers? Our final DIY are used Band-Aids. You're going to need graham crackers for this, cookie icing in white, and red and black food coloring. Break apart all of your graham crackers and set them out so they're easy to access on a tray. And then get yourself a piece of foil so you can start mixing up your blood. You're going to want more red than black, but I added a little bit of black in there just so it looked a little more realistic. The bright red just looked too happy to me. So we needed to darken it up. Grab yourself a piece of wax paper to build your Band-Aid cookies on. Yeah, that looks like a good blood color. In the center of your graham cracker, you're going to make a square so it looks like the little cotton pad on a Band-Aid. Fill it all in. And then with your toothpick, you're going to take just a tiny little bit of our red bloody mixture and randomly spread it around on your Band-Aid. Each Band-Aid is going to look a little bit different because no two boo-boos look the same. I want to make a quick correction. I misspoke when I said red and black food coloring for this DIY. It was red and black gel icing. And it's important that you get icing for this. The cookie icing and the white, all three of the colors, because it hardens up and makes it a solid. And can you believe that I found the gel icing at the Dollar Tree? It is amazing the stuff they are starting to carry there. And here we have our wax paper full of our Band-Aids. This next part is completely optional. You could go and buy an actual Band-Aids box if you wanted to. I think they're too expensive. I'm cheap, so I got the Dollar Tree brand Band-Aids and I printed out a Band-Aid logo. Now, I don't have an inkjet printer with colored ink, so I decided I'm going to color my logo. Colored pencils seem to work the best. When I would try to use any of my markers, it was just running too much and I couldn't get a sharp looking logo. So I colored everything in and then figured out all of my measurements so it would fit on the Band-Aid box. I got all of my measurements marked on my paper and started cutting out each of the logos. Some of them had to be cut into like a V shape to match the box. And I just did that by folding it in half and cutting on an angle. And then to attach these to the box, I just used a tape runner. But I'm sure a glue stick would work well too. All I could think about while I was making this Band-Aids box was that TikTok where it's like, Nobody's gonna know. They're gonna know. How would they know? Time for the final reveal, you guys. So which DIY did you think was the most disgusting today? Let everyone know in the comments. For me, it was definitely the boogers. Thanks so much for spending time with me today. If you have a few more minutes to yourself, you might enjoy watching some of my other Halloween decorations and treats that I made this year. I'll put a link at the end of the video to that playlist. If you like this type of content, please consider subscribing to my channel and helping me reach my goal of 35 subscribers by the end of October. I still have more Halloween content on the way for you guys, so be watching. I'm going to be uploading every other day this week. Thanks again for watching today, you guys. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.